All right. Welcome to the SDP Suspend Disbelief podcast. My name is Wally Warlocks. This here is
Your name is Wally Warlocks now.
Yeah.
It's but the opening graphic says Bobby Bad Style.
It's Wally.
You're gonna
man.
come on here and say Wally Warlocks.
It's not like it's Wally Warlocks, Bobby Bad Style. I've got multiple personality disorder, dog. What the fuck am I supposed to do about that?
Well, maybe not. Put your name on the opening graphic and then say a completely different name when the show starts. I mean, that would be good.
All right. Well, introduce yourself, Trauma.
Whatever, you just introduced me, man. Yeah, I have multiple personalities also, but I didn't get to pick the one I wanted to use for this podcast because you just went ahead and was like, "This is you, motherfucker. This is what I know you as, so this is what you're gonna be."
You know what? So. That Joe Meltzer idea that I had, I thought that was a pretty good idea. You should do that shit. Be Joe Meltzer. Giving reviews, giving like 5-star reviews. Giving your this match gets 6 stars. This match gets, I think that'd be cool.
That's just ripping off some other dude though. To make my own shit.
Oh, okay.
I wouldn't give out stars.
What would you do? Give out like nipples?
Did you say nipples?
It's a 2 nipples. 2 nipple match. No? What would you do?
I gotta think on that, man. I don't just
give out spam
out into the universe.
Spam oh, okay.
No, I don't just throw bullshit out into the universe. I dwell on it, I let it marinate, and then
let it out into the universe.
Yeah, exactly. When it's ready.
I see. Well,
I exfoliate that shit. I don't know if that's the right word, but it sounds
exfoliate.
Right
sounds like exfoliate does something to your skin. But let's talk wrestling, bro.
Let's fucking talk wrestling, man. It's late. This is the latest we ever recorded.
It's not late. It's not that late. It's for you. It's not late. For me, it's like midnight. For you, it's like 9 o'clock. Right?
It's like 10 o'clock.
Okay, 10 o'clock.
Yeah. Consider this your official preview for New Japan, King of Pro Wrestling tonight. I know you're super excited. You're not gonna watch the
I actually been downloading the New Japan shows. I've got the one in Long Beach, and I got the week before that. And I think I'm starting to understand the way they do things. They do things on a weekly. They have like a big show every week, I guess. Is that what's going on? No?
It's just like right now they've been on like a 4 or 5 week streak, but it doesn't really work like that. They do the Japan style where they do touring. They do like a tour for a couple weeks straight. Then they'll be off for like a month or so, and then they'll come back. That Japan schedule where it's like a month on, a month off, kind of like that. Just right now, because of the U.S. expansion and coming off of the G1 and
they're doing a bunch of shows.
Yeah, they got a new president, that's very aggressive, and he's
doing a good job though. It's caught my eye.
Yeah, he's very aggressive. He's trying to expand. He's doing a lot more shows. So it just so happens it's been like a big month. They've got like 4 or 5 weeks just straight of big shows every weekend.
They had like the meltdown in Hiroshima or something like that. And
they had the Destruction Tour.
Destruction, right? Okay.
That ran for 2 weeks. Then they did the Long Beach show.
Right.
And they got the King of Pro Wrestling show now. So yeah, it's been a good couple of weeks. This is like the last big show of the year until we get into Wrestle Kingdom in January, which is their WrestleMania.
Sweet. Well, so I mean, the shows tonight that you're stoked on. What is the show tonight you're stoked on?
Yeah, tonight is King of Pro Wrestling.
Right.
It's considered like a pillar show for them. It's not a WrestleMania, maybe like a SummerSlam type of show, but this is gonna really set up Wrestle Kingdom coming up. We got you haven't even watched the Long Beach shows but they set up some big things going into this show. Why do you download all these shows and you don't watch them?
I watch them on my own time, man. Like I just downloaded, like last night while I was, I
You don't
downloaded.
think you should watch them so we can actually
First
talk
of all,
about them
well,
on our wrestling podcast?
Well, the thing is, man, I can't exactly. Oh, don't you think you should be watching WWE shows on so we
No,
can
that's
talk
what
about
you're
it?
here for.
Oh, okay, so then I watch it based on your well, like
But you don't ever watch anything I suggest.
wait a minute. I watch PWG, I watch ROH, I watch the only things like I watched. What was that? What was
You
that?
say you watch it though, but I mean, do you mean you've watched it in the past? I mean, what
No, I
recent
watch it like
shows
recently.
have you
The
watched?
the WC or no, it's called Defy now, right? Or Defy.
Yeah,
I watched that.
Yeah, all these old shows though. I didn't recommend any of that to you.
Okay, because
I
you
mean,
should.
what have you
What you
watched that's
say?
modern
You
that we
say,
can
oh, you should
discuss?
watch the new ROH pay per view, and I'm like, you don't tell me the name or nothing like that, so I just go.
I don't tell you the. Dude, do you know how to use the internet? What am I, like your fucking shepherd?
Yeah, man. If you sell me
Like
on
you
something,
need to watch this. Like,
you know,
dude,
when I talk to you about
I've sent you links. I sent you links before, and I'm like, yo, get
what
in on this
links?
shit. You know,
Oh,
whatever. Yo, all right, we'll talk about New Japan show.
yeah. Why
I
don't you
want to
talk
hear.
about the New Japan show
We'll
instead
talk
of how
about
I
New
don't watch?
Japan. Yeah, because I want to hear about the WWE show.
Oh, well, I was
I
about
mean,
to.
I'm sure most of our audience, are WWE people like
What
you.
audience,
So
bro?
let's not start with New Japan.
You
Let's
guys
give
are
them what
such
they
tough
want.
guys.
Let's give them the Super Showdown in Australia.
How about let's
And
start with what you're excited with? What you're
what do you
excited
mean,
for?
what audience, motherfucker?
How about this? How about this? Why don't we talk about?
Our record-setting audience that gave us our most downloads
By the way,
ever?
thank you very much. Whoever's
Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah,
listening to us or watching us. First of all, from the bottom of my heart, I'd like to thank you just for like listening to me and this fool babble about wrestling because we've been doing it
are
for
you
what,
calling me
like,
a fool, bitch?
we've been doing it for like how many years have I known this kid? We talk
You
about
calling me a
wrestling and
kid
hip
now?
hop.
A fool,
All
a
right.
kid?
Oh my
Goddamn.
god. Oh my god. Everything I say though, he fucking has to find a rebuttal. But anyway, thank you very much for giving the homie a chance. And uh, when we see numbers, we get excited and it makes us want to keep doing our thing, you know. So thank you very much. Right, Roman?
Yeah, turn that shit off. That's unprofessional.
Yeah, I know.
But yeah, yeah, you're right. Like we literally, like I messaged this fool, this kid. I messaged him like, the next day, like, holy shit, we got a bunch of downloads. And then the day after, we like doubled it and we had like our most downloaded episode ever. So we're pretty stoked about that, So we do appreciate that. And that's the reason why we're doing this shit, 2 weeks out, and we didn't wait 2 damn months to do another podcast. Yeah, because you show us love, we're gonna show you love back. Even though, kind of pissed off because
he's
I
late
want
for
to watch the New Japan show in like 8 minutes, but
okay.
I'm sacrificing for y'all
okay,
because I got love.
Wait, do you watch the shows
tell
live?
me about WWE. Yes, I watch the shows live, dude. I don't like to deal with spoilers.
All right, so do you want spoilers then?
I'm not gonna watch that shit, so spoil away.
Really, you're not gonna watch the pay-per-view?
I'm not gonna watch that Australia show. It's over,
bro. First of all right, let me start with the main event, right?
Yeah, I've been dying to hear about this because I've read horrible things.
Bro, it was such like piss on fucking like the whole business, dog. Like what the fuck? Like why am I even watching this shit anymore? You know what I'm saying? Like that. Like I was just like, why do I still watch wrestling? Because I was
you were turning into me for a second there, huh?
No, well, just for like the last match, like at the end of it, like it was just like, first of all, like Kane and HBK kind of walking around with like nothing to do, but they're there. They're like a prominent part of the match.
They were just being props, basically.
Yeah, but like Kane is like circling around both of them, and like he's not trying to
Mayor
Kane, who got like like there was a time where he pulled the referee out of the ring, okay, and then he's laid on the fucking floor. Like Kane fell on the floor and then laid there like he just got fucking powerbombed on the floor. Like he just laid on the floor and he's looking at the camera, and I'm just like, what the fuck is going on? Yo, Triple H cried after the match, bro. My favorite wrestler of all time, okay, hands down, 100% is Triple H. Triple H started bawling, crying after the fucking Australian Super Show down. You know, I couldn't believe my fucking eyes. And
was
then,
he crying
wait a
because
minute,
he was looking at Shawn Michaels' bald ass
no,
head?
he crying because he finally beat. Oh well, that's another thing. I don't know what the fuck Shawn Michaels is doing with his head. But like,
I almost cried when I saw the picture.
Bro, Shawn Michaels is like, what the fuck is he wearing? By the way, first of all, it's like, someone's got to fucking like put Shawn Michaels in check.
Let him have his midlife crisis, yo.
And wait a minute. So first, Triple H is crying after the main event. Okay, then he embraces HBK for literally, dude, 60, maybe 70 seconds. Okay, and I'm watching this like,
you'll hug me longer than that.
You don't understand how long 60 seconds is, man. Like, like they're holding each other, and he's like holding him, crying, and you can hear HBK being like, "You did it, you finally did it," And it's like, oh my god.
Did he pin him clean?
No, the whole thing, HBK fucking sweet chin music him, okay,
and
then fucking he hit him with the pedigree, and then boom, it's just.
So HBK is really me saying I did it.
Well, I did it. So then, okay, Undertaker was just kind of laying there in the ring, and then Triple H, my favorite wrestler ever, okay, starts to fucking like push him with his head. You know what I'm saying? Like as our thing is respect, being like giving him like noogies and shit with it, like this close to his face, okay, and it picks him up, embraces him, okay, after they just had like the most like. It was chair shots and things like that, and it was kind of like Undertaker.
It was smoke and mirrors.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying.
There was
no story.
They can't do
there was
a
nothing,
big main
right?
event at their ages.
Yeah, they tried. They tried, and it was apparent that they were trying very hard to get it to be like
a classic,
right? To get it to be on that level that that they sold it to be on. It wasn't. So then, okay. Now, Undertaker hugs HBK and Triple H both, and then Kane comes in the ring for I don't know what, and then they all lift each other's fucking hands in the air, bro. Okay, and they're all just lifting each other's hands, and it's just like, what the fuck? All right, and yeah, they salvaged that fucking like. If it ended like that, I would have fucking been like, yo, I'm done wrestling. Right, I'm just done. But luckily, fucking Undertaker turned on Triple H right there and fucking did the tombstone. Then both Undertaker and Kane, fucking slammed, choke slammed HBK through the fucking announcer's table, setting up the next tag team event, right?
Mm-hmm.
Setting
up the match that you were so hyped about the last time we spoke.
That wasn't all right. Wait a minute, bro.
No. Don't act like you were hyped about it. Dude, you sat there like, bro, it's DX versus the Brothers of Destruction, man. All right,
so I'm not gonna take anything away from what I said last time. Yo, yeah, I am kind of hyped. I'm still hyped for it. I'm still hyped because if they come out with a DX chops and they're like, silk it, and then because hey, the one cool thing was seeing them all out there. Was seeing because they did all their music, that was the kind of the cool thing when it was like, and everyone was freaking out because it was pretty much like the Attitude Era, it was for a moment it felt like, oh, this is gonna be a good match. Wait a minute, because before the match even started to get going, the crowd is chanting, this is awesome. It was kind of awesome to see them all fucking there, right?
Okay, but
it shouldn't have been the main event. Number one, it shouldn't have gone on last. Number two, all I can think about is like the guys in the back thinking like, yo, the matches that they put on, and you could tell like, yo, Triple H fucking slipped and fell on his ass like this, he's walking towards the Undertaker, slips, falls on his ass like that, bro, and it's just like, what?
This is like everything I told you last week, though.
No, you didn't say any of this.
And I did, because we had this discussion about why should these guys be main eventing, and you sat there and said, who's gonna main event? AJ and Joe,
Yeah,
who's going to sell more tickets? Yeah, but you made a whole argument last week. Like, they can't main event. You need The Undertaker and Triple H. Who's going to sell the tickets? Who would you rather watch? Who's going to draw the audience?
Hey,
you said all that, dude.
Okay. First of all, man.
And I agree with you. They were going to sell the tickets.
Right.
And I never said you were wrong. I just said that that's the problem, that people only care about them and they don't care about, you know, the new people. Just like you're saying now, how do you think those people in the back must feel, you know? Exactly. That was my whole point. You know, they should be the show. Like, the problem is, it's not the Attitude Era. You're saying it felt like the Attitude Era, dude. It's the Olditude Era. Okay, these motherfuckers are old.
That's good.
Know?
That's very
these
good. The
old,
Olditude
man.
Era. That's fucking.
Yeah, they're old. And,
yeah, that's great.
I'm over them.
Well, I hear you. You know, like it feels like someone should have got the rub. Someone should have got like. It definitely felt like, oh, this is a payday for all of them, you know? Like, that's why they're doing this, just for the fucking money. They're not doing it for the love of it, like fucking Daniel Bryan, by the way, who went over on the Miz in like a 15-second fucking, like, half a minute fucking match where he did something like a schoolboy fucking roll-up. He rolled him up, did a fucking little half roll-up. And it looked like the ref counted too fast or some shit like that, but it looked like a botch, but they went with it. What else? Fucking Becky Lynch and fucking Charlotte had a fucking barn burner. Like, I thought at one point, I thought Becky Lynch was gonna fucking, like.
Did you say barn burner?
I said barn burner. Like they threw everything but the kitchen sink at each other. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, it was fucking.
God damn, Mr. Cliche over here.
It was a joke. If you didn't catch my fucking.
I caught it.
Anyway, what was I saying? That was a cool match. It was cool to see Becky retain her title, but still in a heelish way and still be a heel.
Wasn't it a DQ finish?
Yeah, that's what I mean. She retained her title in a heelish way because she fucking slammed her in the fucking face with the belt. And when she was about to tap out, she had her in the figure four. Becky's about to tap, and then Becky hits her with the fucking belt to get the fucking. Which, by the way, how'd she get the fucking belt? I watched like 3 times. I rewound it and watched like, how did the belt get there? You know, I couldn't find out.
But, stagehand slid it in off camera.
But it was still cool to see, and then she fucking beat her up afterwards. That was cool to see. John Cena came out in a black shirt, dude. John Cena came out in a black shirt looking like fucking JBL. Like, he had a fucking JBL haircut. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I was just like, yo, motherfucker looks like a mini JBL. Came out in a black shirt, and he fucking did 6
he
moves.
Didn't do anything,
he did 6 moves. Dude, you counted.
Well, he can't bump, dude. He's doing a movie. They're not. They wouldn't allow him to bump.
I didn't know.
He's been living in Japan for like 3 months doing this movie with Jackie Chan.
Yeah.
He can't bump. He can't take any bumps. They're not going to let him take any bumps. So he basically flew his ass all the way there to do those 6 moves, get paid, and be gone. You know.
Which was cool. It was cool to see him, but he didn't get a pop. And he was kind of like. It was kind of like. He was like, come on, that's all I get. You know what I'm saying? He was saying shit like that. Like, but I like that he came out in the black shirt. But then he put the Australia over. He was like, thank you so much for letting me come here fucking and wrestle in front of you. But yeah, he did 6 moves. Bobby Lashley made Bobby Lashley look like a bitch, dude.
What else?
Kevin Owens and Elias was fucking whipping Bobby Lashley around, like wrestling him for real. You know what I'm saying? And it was just like, oh shit, making him look like a bitch. He made him look. What else? Yo, did you see Raw where Elias? It was in.
That Heat segment.
6 minutes long, dude. Oh my god! Yeah. When it was going on, I could not believe it.
Man, they be sensitive about that basketball team over there.
Well, yeah, it's kind of a sensitive issue, man. I'd be pissed off too, you know. Did you see the documentary on that? It was fucking excellent film.
I don't watch basketball, man. I only watch real sports like wrestling.
Oh, you're so funny, bro.
Yeah. You know how I do. So, yo, You told me this was the best pay-per-view since WrestleMania. It sounds
Wait a minute.
horrible.
Because these are the things I'm telling you that I don't like about the fucking pay-per-view.
Tell me what
right?
you did like, man.
Number one, I love the fucking Samoa Joe and AJ Styles match, right? Yo,
AJ beat him clean, right?
Clean. Tapped him out.
Finally. So like, this is like, out of the past 2 years, this is probably like one of the handful of times he's actually had a clean victory over someone, which is good.
But well, like, yo, they fought for like 45 minutes, dude. Like, yo, the heart, like, they were hitting each other for real, dude. Like, it was kayfabe to a motherfucker, and I couldn't even, like, they'd hit each other, and like you could hear Joe scream from like the pain, and then it was like guttural and real, and it would make me be like, what the fuck is going on? Like, they're really mad at each other? Like, my suspense was disbelieved. You know, I was like, holy shit, like, are they really mad at each other? Are they, like, is Joe for real, you know? But no, I think they just wanted to steal the show.
Yeah, well, they've been, you know, when two guys that have been working together for so long, you know, I mean, they've known each other for so long. I mean,
they trust each other.
They've been having classic matches with each other going back like 10 years. So, you know, now on the biggest stage, you know, and they, you know, they went out there to steal the show. They're like, you know, all this hype about Undertaker and Triple H, let's go out there and, you know, be the workhorses, you know, do what we got to do. And, you know, they had to carry that show. I mean, you needed, you know, some good matches to carry that show. And that's the one place that, you know, booking, you know, that the booking can fuck up the finish, but the match, to actually build a match, that's the one place where, you know, booking can't really fuck with that. If you got two guys that can go in there and put on a great match, you know, yeah, the finish might suck, the booking might be horrible, but, you know, the match can still be good. And those are probably two of the best, is just going in there and having a good fucking match. They've been doing it forever, you know?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know what you were saying about the booking could fuck up a match, but a match can't.
I mean, it can fuck up a finish.
Okay.
Like, if you're gonna like AJ and Joe, let's say they have a 45-minute classic and it's a shitty fucked up ending, you know, then, you know, you're gonna be like, the ending sucks. You're gonna be pissed. You're gonna be like, that fucking sucks. I mean, then
like a smosh ending, like something,
yeah,
like someone come running.
Like, you get even, yeah, like when you watch a good match on Raw, like, you invest and you're watching like a 30-35 minute going through 3 commercials. You're fucking invested in this main event, a match on Raw, you know, and then all of a sudden the end is just a shitty DQ or something. That pisses me off even more. Like, well, I just watched this for 30 minutes and I was really into it, and now it's a bullshit ending, you know? That's what I mean by the booking can fuck up a match.
Right. But what they're doing is they're selling the pay-per-view, right? Like, they're trying to get you to watch the pay-per-view. They want you to watch the main show.
Yeah. That would make sense if we weren't getting all of these shit endings on pay-per-views too, though.
Well, not exactly.
You know what I mean?
Right? I mean,
yeah, exactly. I mean, look at the pay-per-views. How many times has AJ been involved in DQ finishes at pay-per-views?
Yeah, you mentioned that last week.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Let me go back to what I liked about the fucking pay-per-view, man. This is not a hate WWE fucking thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, I love WWE. I always am going to. There's something about it where, you know, makes me feel good.
I don't hate the WWE. I'm just pointing out. I'm not gonna just sit there and praise something, you know.
All right. Well, if I'm sitting here and telling you to watch Samoa Joe,
like you tell me.
If I'm sitting here and telling you watch Samoa Joe versus AJ Styles at Super Showdown, I would hope. I say that's the match of the year. I would hope that you would take at least a little. You would take my word with a little bit of authority and be like, oh yeah, Adam knows his wrestling a little bit. You know, at least I know my fucking WWE wrestling. You know. You know, let me watch this fucking match, you know, and see what the fucking big deal is.
Like I told you earlier, dude, I'm sure it was an awesome match, but I mean, go and watch that New Japan show from last week, and you'll probably see 2 matches that were better.
I'm going to watch it. I have it in my queue. I told you that. I'm going to.
In your queue?
In my queue. Like, I have my Plex. Okay, I use Plex media server. Do you know what that is?
Yeah, Plex. I don't use it.
Dude, as part, because when I download things like wrestling, I download most of my fucking. If it's not on the network, I download it, right? And then I just load that onto my Plex folder. I put it in my folder, and it does all the work for me, and it's nice, beautiful fucking layout on all my fucking devices. So,
man, this ain't free plugs for them.
Yo, fucking free plug.
Sponsor us, motherfucker.
No, Plex. You know, please keep continuing to do your fine work. You don't need to sponsor us. We do this for free.
I only like it because it sounds like suplex.
Yeah, it's probably you should try it out. I mean, especially because I know
man, I don't like it.
How do you watch your wrestling? You watch it live, like.
If I download it, then I'll just fucking watch it on the computer. I stream it to my TV. It ain't that hard.
I have a queue on my Plex, you know. So I have a couple shoot interviews. I have a couple of kayfabe commentaries.
I don't do queues, dog. I just it's like if I don't watch something within a couple days, I'll just delete it because I'm not gonna get to it.
Really?
I'm busy, yeah, man. I'll be busy, man. If I don't watch that shit like within the couple days, like by the next weekend, there's like so much new shit that's already out. I'm not gonna get to it. You know?
One more thing before we get off the topic though, on what I liked about the pay-per-view.
Yo, what about the Shield and the? Are they really calling them the Dogs of War? That's horrible.
I don't think they're going to be together for much longer.
Was that good though?
The Shield went over. The ending was kind of cool, where their finish was really cool because like Braun Strowman, you know, the thing where he runs people over on the side, you know. He did that to Roman.
That shit he does to Kevin Owens.
Right. Match. He did it to Roman. Then he did it to Seth.
He did that shit to Roman.
He did it to Roman. Then he did it to Seth.
Did he do a flip bump?
And he was about to do. Yeah, they all did. And then he was about to do it to Dean Ambrose. And Dean Ambrose had been kind of like the black sheep of the match. You know, he wasn't really getting helped out and stuff like that. And he was about to do it to Dean Ambrose. As he's running towards Dean Ambrose is standing there, and fucking you see Roman come out and spears him as he's fucking getting to him, spears him out of the way, you know. And then it's like the Shield. It made the Shield look very good. It made the Shield look awesome. But the last thing I just wanted to say about the Super Showdown, what I really liked about it was the fucking 205 Live match was fucking dope as fuck. Something Murphy, Buddy Murphy, bro.
He's been having a hell of a year.
Shit.
Did you ever watch that match he had with Mustafa Ali on 205 Live?
No, I heard about it though.
Yeah, I went out of my way to see that match, and I was like, yeah, this motherfucker is the truth.
Yeah,
Buddy Murphy, man.
He won the championship. He got the belt, so he won that shit in his hometown. You know, that shit was awesome, man. They were going crazy for that fool. And
I want to check out that match for sure.
And the Iconics were just hot as fuck. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that one. One girl, she looked like
Peyton Royce. No, Peyton Royce is amazing. Billy Kay is pretty dope too. You know what I'm saying? Like they're both beautiful fucking. Oh my god, I love their entrance when they do that little finger hook thing, and Peyton Royce shakes her ass, and it's just like, oh my god.
Yeah, don't ever do that again.
I'll do whatever the fuck I want, bro. All right, so yeah. So
hey,
before you gotta go, you watch your paper.
No, we got some time. I can rewind it, but
okay, cool. I'm glad that you don't gotta be on that same timeline as
I'm gonna re-drop that shit back and start from the beginning.
Do you watch? Do you watch
the paper out tonight?
I'm gonna backlog so I'm caught up on everything. But do you watch?
What? Go ahead.
Do you watch it in English?
Yeah, I watch it in English.
Or you watch it in
I can't watch it without the commentary. Like I used to be able to do that and just enjoy the matches like back in the day. But like now, like Japanese wrestling has changed a lot. It's not as sports oriented as it was before, where you could just sit there and enjoy the matches.
It seems like
it's still very hard hitting, strong style, but there's a lot of American influence now. There's a lot of more storyline driven, and if it's not in English, you can't really follow along, you know. And and there's a lot of other promotions too that are a lot more American style, you know, like DDT, a lot of American.
This is Japanese
entertainment style. Yeah, DDT is actually where Ibushi and Omega both came up, you know, and they were like comedy wrestlers. They did a lot of I mean, you've seen the Ibushi wrestling the Invisible Person or wrestling the Doll and all that.
So these are indies, though, right? These are indies in Japan.
Indies, yeah.
So you're getting deep into it, huh?
Well, from back in the day, I mean, you know, Noah. I was always into Noah and Dragon Gate back in the day because of their relationship with ROH.
But
You would see
Noah's
these
no
guys.
longer, right? Noah's no longer.
Noah's still around, but it's like a shell of itself. They've actually kind of they've been kept afloat because they had like partnerships with Impact, and WWE also had a partnership with them. They sent over Kenta or Itami to go wrestle for Marufuji and Noah, and he was like one of their biggest stars. So yeah, I've been, you know, a lot into the Japanese scene for a while since back then, but just like I can't do it anymore without the English commentary, which is why I'm glad, you know, New Japan went all out with the English commentary. They do every show now, so
Jim
you can
Ross.
follow. Yeah,
Jim Ross.
It's not Jim Ross, dude. It's Kevin Kelly.
Kevin Kelly, that's right.
Jim Ross only does the accent shows, and you know what? I've been hating on Jim Ross for a long time. He actually did pretty damn good on the last show. Like I think it's Kevin Kelly, the two of them together with Jim Ross. Like when he's with Josh Barnett, it's like you got two guys that don't know what the fuck is going on, you know? And it's like these two guys are just playing off each other, and they both don't know what the fuck is going on. When you had Kevin Kelly sitting there with Jim Ross, who basically lives in Japan and calls every show, he breathes and lives that product. It was like so great because Jim Ross just got to like, you know, he didn't have to be, he got to just sit back, and he knows if I don't know a move or a person, I've got Mr. New Japan sitting right next to me, and
who's gonna save me? Yeah,
that main event, fucking Ibushi and Omega against Ishii and Okada, like amazing match. But Jim Ross,
who's it again?
Hearing it was Tomohiro Ishii and Kazuchika Okada against Ibushi and Omega, the Golden Lovers. And so like it had a lot of intricate storylines because Omega took the title from Okada, right? So that was like his big rival, and this was like the first time they've touched since then. So they built it up for like 20 minutes into the match, like they haven't touched. So when they finally touched, you know, the audience in America seeing them touch for the first time went, you know, deep ape shit. And Ishii, he's like one of the best wrestlers in the world right now, the Stone Pitbull. He actually beat Omega into G1, got a world title shot. They tore the fucking house down. They main evented one of the Destruction shows. Omega beat him, another great, you know, showing. And you got Ibushi and Omega. Ibushi, who also beat Omega into G1, who they like, you know, they have a promise to each other that they weren't going to wrestle each other or whatever. So there was like a lot of intricate storylines going on. But my point of this is really quickly is JR calling this match was the best JR like in years and years. Like he got so into it. Like, you know, those matches where JR would just fucking go off and like he added so much to it with just the way he called it.
Oh my God. He killed him. He killed him.
He was so into this fucking match. Like, I haven't heard him into something like this in so long. And it was just like, holy fuck. Like, I'm thinking to myself, yeah, this is a good match. And then, like, listening to JR, I'm like, yo, this is a fucking amazing match. Listen to JR. He hasn't sounded like this in fucking years. So, yeah, JR, he bought it on this show. He was really good. That main event was awesome. Juice Robinson and Cody, you know, Young Bucks and Gorillas of Destiny were good. But that main event and Will Ospreay and Marty Scurll, they tore the fucking house down again. Will Ospreay is fucking unbelievable. He's about to move to heavyweight. They're saying they're going to set up a thing with him and Ibushi for Wrestle Kingdom. That's going to be incredible. So, yeah, a lot of good shit in New Japan right now. Tonight, going to be a good show. Omega, Cody, and Ibushi. Only the second three-way ever in New Japan for the world title. So,
that's
yeah, you know, that American influence, man. You know, or not even the American influence, but the new owner trying to break into America, trying a lot of different things. I got Tanahashi and White for basically their version of Money in the Bank that Tanahashi has, and Jay White's beating Tanahashi in the G1. Jay White just turned on Okada, him and Gato. They turned on him, so he's like red hot right now, taking over Chaos. You got Kushida and Scurll for the light heavyweight title after fucking. You saw Takahashi when he broke his damn neck.
Yeah.
So yeah, the vacant title's on tonight. Saber and Evil's on tonight. Maybe Jericho shows up tonight. because they're trying to set up a Jericho and Evil match before they do Jericho and Naito. So a lot of people think Jericho's showing up tonight. New member of LIJ tonight, so it's a big.
What is
show.
LIJ?
Los Ingobernables de Japan.
Oh, that's right. It's such a cool name too. Like
Naito's group.
What's the deal with the Golden Lovers? Are they they're gay, right?
Like, almost. Yeah. I knew you were gonna ask me that.
Are they? You know, like
that's I don't. It's weird. Like it's like they play it off like they are, but they never actually come out and say it or acknowledge it. But you know, that's why like it was weird because they played it off so hard that when Omega and Cody were feuding, they basically had like a whole storyline where Cody basically was like, you know, I'm gonna take from you what's most important, Kota Ibushi, and Cody like went into the ring and kissed him right on the lips, you know, like like so they like really were playing it off like they've I don't know if it's because of the new owner and stuff, but they backed off of that big time. Like they don't they were like heavy like playing off of it. They were doing like documentaries about them, like
so yeah, they were right.
Really,
so pretty much they were.
They were playing it off like they were seriously, but
well, just the name, the Golden Lovers, you know, sounds kind of like, and they have golden hair, and it's kind of like, and then
I think
they
now
like
the
embrace,
American thing,
you know,
they're really like, but they backed off it a lot. Like they don't even tease it
because
anymore.
he's like the champion, you know what I'm saying? And like,
but
when you watch his interviews,
it didn't even matter then though. Like they still,
but that's like the Japanese, like they have like that culture is very, you know, like sexual. They're open sexually, right? So,
you know, I don't know. Well, for that example, they certainly was. You know, they loved them.
Right. Like, and then you know, have you watched like his shoot interviews, like Omega shoot interviews? I think he is gay. You know, like I think so, because like with the Young Bucks and stuff, like he's buying them presents and shit all the time. Like I don't know. I'm not saying it's anything wrong with it or whatever.
Yeah,
you know, I still he's a hell of a wrestler.
It doesn't matter either way, but
just curious.
It was just it was kind of interesting, like how hard they were going with it, and then literally like once the new owner came in, it just like stopped immediately. Like he was like, "Yeah, we're not gonna do that," you know, and they just disappeared. Like, but they still. The funny thing is, they're still called the Golden Lovers and everything, you know. But you know, it just stopped.
But maybe they're like lovers,
they're
Shawn
secret
Michaels
lovers now. They're secret golden lovers. Yeah, but yo, that show's gonna be dope. Shit. Yo, before we roll out, man, we want to talk a little bit UFC, man. This is a fucking bonus, man. We ain't never talked you besides fucking Brock.
I watch UFC all the time, so like
yeah, so do I, dude.
Now, yo,
I'm going to Bellator in December, dog.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, they're coming here.
I don't watch Bellator though. I mean, you know, UFC is different. It's the main.
Yeah, you're a fucking. You only watch the main. Everything, dude.
Because I like watching what's good. You know what I'm saying? Like, just give me something that's good.
That's the problem, dude. Like, but you're so conditioned that you only watch the big thing that you don't think
because
anything
I like presentation, man. I like a presentation. You know what I'm saying? I like a. Give me the fireworks. You know, give me the crowd. You know, give me the.
Yeah, but dude, that's just sizzle, man. What's sizzle if you don't got the steak? And yo, sometimes they do have the steak. Last night's show was a fucking banger.
Last night's show, the second match.
The last Bellator show was a fucking banger too, yo.
Yeah, I don't know, bro. I don't know. We have some questionable tastes. It's just like we have different tastes. You know what I'm saying? Like you like steak. I like burgers. You know what I'm saying? Like
that don't make no sense though because you're like
you're
supposed to like the steaks.
I'll eat steak.
Steaks is supposed to be above burgers, dog.
Steaks is look. Burgers are McDonald's burgers. Give me a fucking give me a fucking double cheeseburger. Give me a Big Mac. Give me a Whopper. I don't give a fuck. As long as it's tried and true, and you know and everyone's doing it, give it to me. You on the other hand, like you search, you go through all the fucking restaurants. You know, setting your dinner up, putting your bib on.
To find what I fucking want. That's good.
You have a glass of wine, your steak, getting it medium rare or rare, or getting it cooked perfect. You like your shit the way it is. See, that's a perfect analogy, all right? That's a good metaphor for our tastes. Okay. What I was gonna say about the UFC, I can't remember that dude's name. The Black Beast.
The Black Beast.
Holy shit.
Derek Lewis.
Derek Lewis, right? Is that his name? Like,
yeah, fuck
D.
it.
Lewis.
Yeah, sure.
Right?
Why not?
Black Beast is called. Yo.
African American Beast.
Yeah. No, he calls himself the Black Beast, but
true that.
Knocked the fuck out of that dude.
Yo, that motherfucker was like he did a double take, and fucking mouthpiece was hanging out. God damn. And he was whooping boys' ass the whole fight too. Damn. That was a hell of a comeback.
It was just cool to see him and then he did his fucking swamp thing, fucking
and they instantly collapsed under the ground.
Yo.
Because he was exhausted.
And then he had the interaction with Joe Rogan. You know, he's like, yo, in 2 weeks I'm gonna come out and smoke some weed with you. I was like, this guy's my fucking new favorite dude. Now
he took his fucking pants off. Like, you seen the guy that works for the fucking building or whatever. The security guy came over and was like, put your pants back on. Fucking Joe Rogan's come over like, why'd you take your pants off? I was like, because my balls were hot. I was like, this dude is awesome.
He's awesome.
And he's realistic too. He's, you know, they were like, dude,
fight for the belt.
Are you ready for a title fight? He's like, you see my cardio?
Yeah.
No, I was like, yeah, exactly. He's honest, you know.
I never heard a fighter say that, and that was realistic.
That was very honest. You know, I appreciate that. Because anyone that's watching is gonna be like, this fool can't fight for no title.
Yeah.
Look at this dude.
No, because all he needs is to. You know, they said he's probably saving it for the last minute, and then like clockwork, in the last minute comes out and
but
it's finished,
but there's different levels of getting fucking worked. I mean, he got worked by a striker, you know, that if he gets worked by a wrestler that's just gonna throw him down and just pound on him, he's not gonna make it, 3 rounds. Right. This dude was just throwing shots, and he's got a chin. He stood there and he ate all those shots, but like a Cormier,
it's Daniel Cormier, right? That champion.
You would drop him immediately and just pound on him until the ref stops it. He's not gonna make it 3 rounds. He's not gonna get a chance to knock Cormier out.
I'd like to see that. I'd like to see Cormier versus them. I mean, and
Cormier
then,
versus Lesnar, man.
And
that's
then,
the money.
I was rooting for Conor McGregor, man, and
I know you was, dude. I literally, when we said we were gonna talk MMA, I literally said to myself, this is the kind of motherfucker that cheers for Conor McGregor.
Yeah.
You are the kind of motherfucker that cheers for Conor.
How could you not cheer for Conor McGregor, right?
I hate Conor McGregor, dude. Yep. He's an
asshole. He's a fucking heel, bro. He sells fucking fights.
Not anymore, dude. They did that double turn, dude. That was some wrestling shit, dude.
That was crazy.
That was like Austin and Bret Hart, man. Bro. Like, whoa. Did they just make Conor the biggest baby face in the world?
And they
Khabib
made the heel, heel
immediately.
Ever.
Wow.
Yo, Khabib, first of all, right, jumps out of the ring. Like, what? Mm-hmm. And then
he started beating on Conor's coach, man. That was Conor's coach he was beating.
He could have got killed real quick, dude. He could have got fucking stomped out and killed real quick.
There was probably some crazy Irish motherfuckers out there that could have fucked him up, dude.
Like, just...
Or ganged on it.
Yeah, like a mob mentality,
and then his boys jumped in the fucking... Yo, they were working Conor's ass, though. They were getting some clean shots on his ass, too, in there.
Yo, because I saw this dude Red jump up onto the ring. I was like, he doesn't belong there. And he goes into the ring. Then I see him hit Conor, and I'm like,
a bunch of times, man.
Like gangsters, you know what I'm saying? Like fucking...
Oh, those were professional fighters, though.
Yeah, but like, they're acting like gangsters, right?
They're acting like some gangsters, mafia,
right? Like, and so, so the way Dana, I guess the way the UFC, not Dana, but the way the UFC is handling it is they're not paying fucking Khabib.
Well, I think they're gonna pay him eventually, but
you think so?
I think so. Like, I mean, he's your champ. He just put down Conor. If they don't pay him,
right? They're gonna pay him less. They're gonna pay him less. Something like that.
If he walks, they're pretty fucked. I mean,
well, he walks and guess what? Where's he gonna go?
He can go anywhere, dude.
Like where?
He can go to Bellator.
Oh, no one's watching him at Bellator, bro. No, I'm not gonna watch Khabib at Bellator.
You're not gonna watch him at Bellator.
No one will, because I'm the like.
Bellator is selling out arenas. Bellator is doing great
selling
numbers.
Pay-per-views, really?
Dude,
Give me a
Bellator
main event.
is
What's the main
not
event?
a fucking minor league promotion anymore, dude. Bellator's got big name
Bellator's like
dude.
TNA, dude. TNA, it's like TNA. It's always gonna be like TNA to me. You understand? Like,
dude, you're such a star fucker. You are a star.
So what? So what? So what?
That's not a good way to live.
What do you mean?
Yo,
I want to fuck losers.
Dude, all this fucking all this bullshit.
Yo, let me fuck
all this fake
superstars.
outrage,
God,
dude. It's fake outrage. Like, you know, Dana White in the back of his mind is like the happiest motherfucker
you think that
in the
shit
world,
was planned
right?
out? You think it was planned?
I don't think it was planned, but I think that Dana knew that there was a chance that some shit could go down, and I think he's not sad about it. Like, can you imagine the rematch? They probably broke all kinds of pay-per-view records, and they'll probably shatter them with a rematch. And like, how can UFC act all high and mighty when they sold this fight off of Conor McGregor acting like a damn criminal, breaking up a bus and shit? I mean, that was like, they sold that. They showed that video again and again and again. And you know what? When the rematch is about to happen, you know what they're going to show again and again? Khabib jumping into the crowd. These guys jumping into the ring and fucking up Conor. And they're going to act all outraged, and then they're going to turn around and use all this footage to sell tickets to the rematch. I mean,
God, I didn't even think about a rematch, bro. I didn't even think about that.
I mean, I think you got to have a rematch now think of all the money. I mean, you could go Khabib and Tony Ferguson, but I mean, how many times have they tried to make that fight? And it always falls through, you know? I think Khabib and Conor, a rematch has got to happen at this point. Just makes sense money-wise.
I was thinking, what's Conor going to do, like, after this? You know what I'm saying? Like, is Conor even, is he, like, what?
I think he's going to Shawn Michaels it. You just keep adding zeros, and his ass is going to be right there.
I mean, but, you know, is he going to sell the same amount of fights, or is he going to go to the WWE? I think he's going to eventually go to wrestling.
I think he'll sell the same amount of fights if they do a rematch. Because it's kind of like when Nick Diaz wore his ass out.
If he comes back, and beats Khabib,
they're not gonna. Oh, his drawing power is gone. Like, maybe his drawing power is gone with somebody else, but his drawing power is not gone with the guy that just whooped his ass. Like when Ronda Rousey got her ass whooped, and everyone's like, "Oh, she's not a draw anymore." Like, no, she's the biggest draw ever now because we're gonna see her try to get her revenge, you know. And if she goes in there and whoops ass, yeah, exactly, she failed, and you know, then she wasn't a draw. But Conor didn't fail his second time out. He went out there and whooped that boy's ass, you know. And you got to think, you know, Conor was coming off of 2 years without a fight.
And
so, you know, you can't tell me he wasn't rusty. Yeah, he was boxing. You know, he wasn't focused. He has all this other shit going on. You telling me that he just went in there and got his ass whooped.
And he tapped out. He tapped out, bro.
He's a proud motherfucker. With all the shit he talks, he's going to train like a motherfucker and get back in there and want to whoop that boy's ass. I think it'll be a lot more competitive the second time around. I think Khabib will still beat him. I think Khabib's just a fucking beast, you know. And yeah, it was a great fight.
I believe now in the Khabib, but it's kind of like.
And yo, I mean, I don't even blame Khabib for what he did. I mean, Conor has been talking mad shit nonstop, and like I think he crossed the line with all that
terrorist
talk. Yeah. To you know, that's like. There's a line you shouldn't cross.
If it's true, then I want to know about it, though. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I don't think Conor knows if it's true. I think he's just trying to get under his skin.
No, I think he does. I think that his coach, Aziz, whatever, I think he did have some terrorist ties or some shit like that, right? Like ties, I don't know, right? Maybe. It doesn't...
Yeah, well, even if, though, I mean, is that his place to come out and say that shit?
Yeah, fuck yeah. Fuck yeah. What?
Well, he's going... You're going to get your ass whooped if you're going to talk that shit.
Shawn Michaels should have brought up, Brett Michaels should have brought up the Sunny Days comment.
No, he shouldn't have.
Really?
That shit is not, there's shit, you know, you go beyond personal, man. You get into someone's personal life. But you know what? They legit hated each other, so whatever. Like, I'm more talking about, like, yo, Conor fucking came in there. He came in there with, like, a gang of fools. And they basically stomped that bus that had like women and children on it, and they were throwing shit. People were fucking bleeding. They caused a bunch of fights to get canceled. He fucking straight up acted like a criminal. So yeah, and then they just turned around and sold that shit. So I don't know why they're acting pissed off that Khabib is basically acting like Conor now. You know, it's like
Well,
shit.
Khabib made a
If
name
this
for
is the
himself, you know,
environment
like
you want, you know, yeah. Well,
he made
this
a,
is what you breeded. This is what you get. So fuck it. Stop faking like you're upset. Let's just get to the rematch.
this dude Khabib, you know, now household name, you know, because it's fucking.
Yeah, he is.
You woke up on the morning, he was on
amazing.
every fucking news channel in the fucking morning. I was like, what the fuck is going on? You know, Khabib's are everywhere right now. But
He's
yeah,
bad.
and that's the truth, man. Like, go ahead. I feel like you in a rush. You trying to get off to your show, or I mean, well, there's still a couple more
And if you
things
got
to.
anything else you want to talk
Yeah,
about,
like yo.
like,
So
bring it up.
I watched the Montreal Screwjob from start to finish, like the actual match. Man, and I watched that shit very closely, all right? Huh? And I'm starting to think that
Wasn't
the
a good
whole
match.
fucking thing was a work, dude. Like Bret Hart was in on it. Everybody was in on it.
You're gonna go conspiracy theorist on me
Yo,
now?
not even conspiracy theorists, right? But if you think about it, it was just another day. Yo, WWE make everything that is put on television is calculated, man. And they had to make it look like that, right? Because right before then, like this man was like, "Yo, we're coming out and we're not gonna uh, we're not going to fucking you're like we're gonna assume that you're not fuck what's the word I'm looking for like we're not gonna insult your intelligence by giving you the passe good versus bad. You remember that like Vince McMahon came out and said that fucking thing, and that's like when that type of shit happened. So like they needed a finish, and that was the perfect finish. Oh, why not?
You're
Why
talking
is it?
about when
Why is a
they
screw job?
started to go adult and Vince
Right,
made that speech on TV
right,
about we're not going to insult your intelligence.
right,
We're going to let
exactly,
you
right,
decide who you want to cheer for. We're going to
exactly.
do more adult oriented things.
Exactly, and
Yeah.
that's an adult oriented thing. Like, why is a screw job um, uh, like considered taboo for a finish? You know what I'm saying? Like, why? That's a perfect finish. A finish where uh, Brett's getting screwed over. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, okay, that sounds cool. Brett looks like a good like. Brett doesn't look like he's losing. It's we all know it's fake. Everybody knows it's fake. They're just it's a I believe it's like the biggest fucking work of the wrestling like I believe it's a big deal because it's the biggest work ever. It's the and it's still kayfabe is what it is. You know what I'm saying? It's
I
like
don't think it was work.
it's kayfabe. Really?
I think it was the luckiest, most influential thing that ever happened to the wrestling business because if that doesn't happen, we don't get Vince McMahon, the evil boss. If we don't get Vince McMahon, the evil boss, Austin, without Vince, Austin would never, he would have been a star. He would have blew up. But without Vince to play off of, I don't think Austin would have been as big or as
Somebody would
important.
have though. Somebody would have been as
But
big and somebody.
As good as Vince
Who
though,
knows,
that
man?
Austin
Who
McMahon thing was
knows?
that was like once in a lifetime. But like think about it though.
It
Like
wasn't that great.
think of the
Wasn't that great.
chain reaction. Like I think like the two most influential things in modern wrestling, like I'm not talking the Hogan era, I'm talking, basically modern, let's say 90s, from the 90s on, like not the 80s Hogan stuff, but basically,
Shawn Michaels versus Vader kind of shit, right?
yeah, like basically, the NWO and Austin McMahon,
Right.
because without those two things happening, like if Scott Hall never leaves, then you never get the NWO, you never get Nash, you never get the Hogan turn, you never get WWE getting their ass beat and going, yo, we need to step it up and be more adult. And then we never get DX. DX was basically we need like an adult group to counter NWO. Then without the screw job, we never get
But
Mr. McMahon, and we never get Austin McMahon. So basically,
so
those are like.
so here's the
But I
thing,
think it
man.
was just a coincidence.
Like in an alternate reality, right? Say if it never happened, right? In an alternate reality, we'd still get something just as dope, if not doper, right? So what? How do we know? Like because that happened, we're not missing out on something amazing. Like what if Hulk Hogan was supposed to be the head of DX? You know what I'm saying? And fucking And
that would have been horrible.
Or fucking the NW or the Outsiders were fucking like Shawn Michaels and the Road Dogg. You know what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying,
you know
but like, yeah, but I don't think.
And the whole chain. Wait a minute. The whole chain reaction thing, right? About wrestling. But it's always a change. So you can say that about all of wrestling, man. If this didn't happen, this wouldn't have happened.
Yeah,
You know,
you make a good point, and you know what? That is, I think, that's what's missing a lot from modern wrestling, or especially the WWE, because without competition, there's not a lot to react to. You know, like when WWE was getting their ass kicked every week by Nitro, they had to change. That was a chain reaction. Nitro is like, you know, we're not gonna do this cartoon bullshit anymore. We're gonna do, you know, more adult-oriented storylines. We're gonna be more based in reality. Vince McMahon had to be like, well, we need to fucking be more adult-oriented too. They went super far with it, but that created the Attitude Era. I mean, if they're not getting stomped by WCW, there's no Attitude Era. Why do we need to change? You know, we have no competition. We can do what we're doing and keep the same audience, keep the same ratings. So they had to change, you know. A lot of good wrestling is based off of, like, all the eras that we remember so fondly, you know, it was all based off of competition and reacting to the other guy. I mean, why do we have shows like Royal Rumble and the Survivor Series? That was the WWE trying to screw over the NWA, you know. Remember, like Starrcade, we got Starrcade. That was, you know, the NWA trying to screw them back. They would run pay-per-views. Yeah, they'd run pay-per-views, and the other guy would be like, "Oh, they're running a pay-per-view. Let's screw them over and have our own show going here." Yeah, exactly.
Well, I don't think it was really them screwing them over, but maybe being like, "Oh, they were successful." You know, putting a fucking card together like that.
No, it was definitely the WWE screwing them over, because the WWE would go to cable.
Over. I think they're just taking over.
Well, WWF back then, they'd go to cable companies and say, "Here's our pay-per-views. This is the numbers we do. If you show the NWA pay-per-views, we're pulling our pay-per-views." And they were doing double what the NWA they was doing. So, you know, 98% of the cable companies were like, "Fuck y'all," you know.
Yeah.
But like, you know, it was all like a chain reaction. I mean, without, you know, Ric Flair, you know, would we have the, you know, the Hulk Hogan era, you know? They wanted their own, you know, main champion that was dominating everyone.
Let's say, like, let's look at Becky. Let's look at Becky Lynch, right? Let's just look at Becky Lynch and how she's a heel, right? So if she wouldn't have been friends with fucking Charlotte, right? She wouldn't have been fucking pissed off, and she wouldn't have become a heel. And if she wasn't in fucking NXT, she wouldn't have been friends with Charlotte, and then she wouldn't have, you know, got pissed off at Charlotte, and then she wouldn't have become a heel. And then if, you know, NXT wasn't, you know, fucking owned by Triple H, you know, then fucking, you know, she would never met Charlotte, and then she would never been pissed at Charlotte, and then she, you know, and then if Triple H was never fucking, you know, married to Stephanie McMahon, you know, he wouldn't have had control of NXT. You know what I'm saying? So like, it's all kind of connected, man. It's all a big fucking spider web of fucking wrestling.
That's how it should be, because, you know, if you're gonna bring a talent in from NXT and then raise them all the way up to the main roster, then we should, you know, follow them along the way, and all of that should matter. It shouldn't be, you know, like once you're called up, forget everything that happened before, you know.
Well, I'm not necessarily talking about that. What I'm talking about is like, it's all one big storyline, man. You know, it's all one big story, and I feel like they know exactly what the fuck they're writing. They know exactly what the fuck they're doing, and fucking Montreal Screwjob was a fucking work. You need to watch that shit again. Watch it with your fucking. Take your Mark glasses off and watch
the Mark.
It's
real.
Yo, just
you gonna call me a Mark when you gonna sit here and tell me how real it was?
No, I'm telling you that it's a work, bro. I'm not telling you that it's real. I'm telling you that it's a work.
I mean, it is real. It was not a work, dude.
All right, just watch it again. Just watch it again.
I've seen it enough. I'm so over the
See, you
Montreal
haven't, though.
job.
You haven't seen it in years. I guarantee you haven't watched it in fucking 20 years, bro. You have not watched it front to back in 20 years. Guaranteed. You have not. Because I haven't. You know? And I know I've seen the content.
Even if it was a work, so what?
Well, then that's all. Then, you know, that's all. That's all I really wanted to say.
If it wasn't work, then that was fucking great.
That's what I'm saying. Great. That's what I'm saying.
And if not, then they fucking ass tripped into like something really great. And you know, sometimes it's better to be lucky than good, you know. And they need some luck because they have not been good lately.
And on that note, they need some luck because they haven't been good. We hope you enjoyed this week's.
I'm sick of the olditude era.
Yep. The olditude era is still kind of cool to me.
Let's go watch some New Japan. The future.
Yeah, you know, just spread this shit around. Signing out. This is the SDP podcast.
Or the SD podcast. The Gun Show.
Thank you, believers or disbelievers. Thank you, disbelievers, for disbelieving, and continue to disbelieve. And we're like, if you just search Suspend Disbelief podcast, you can pretty much find us wherever on all social medias.
That shit works, man. Because like I type that into Google sometimes just to see where we are. We're moving on up.
That's very nice. So you know, thank you very much for sharing, subscribing, and you know, content and just talking to us on social media. And by the way, we're looking for somebody to help us out with news, pretty much, to do a little news segment. So if you want to come in on a little tryout or something like that and see how it works out, contact one of us at SDP Suspend Disbelief podcast.
Just find us on Facebook. You know, we got a Facebook page, we got a Twitter page, we got an Instagram, we got a Twitch. We basically got everything, you know, and we got links to everything. We got
Tumblrs,
YouTube.
Tumblrs.
Yeah, you can get fucking, you know, you can download all our past episodes. You can watch all our
The
past.
only place
what are you
you can't
fingering
find us
over there?
The only place you can't find us is
fingering something over
there. Only place you can't find us is one place to get podcasts, and that's iTunes. On that, now peace out from.
Hey, I'm working on that shit though. We're gonna get on all that shit.
Other way, bro. Other hand. All right, let's do that. Let's do that.
I got it. All right. Yo, we're gonna be on iTunes soon. We're gonna be on Stitcher soon. We're gonna be on all that shit soon. I put in all the applications and shit. We're gonna be on all that shit soon. I told you I was gonna do that shit.
But did you?
So yeah, I did that shit, dude. Sometimes it takes like 90 days to hear back.
That's true. Well,
so yeah,
that sounds amazing.
Hopefully we'll hear back, and hopefully it's not gonna take 3 fucking months for us to get our shit out there. But even if it does, you know, who gives a fuck? You know,
we'll be
here, you'll be there, and you know, in 90 days we'll have like 2 more episodes up.
No, we won't, because we're gonna.
No, we'll have more. We're
gonna do our thing. You know, stop being such a pessimist.
Do your part. Download our shit again. You know, get us all, you know, excited and shit. And,
get us excited about it.
We'll be back.
Peace out. Much love.